Welcome.
Mom.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another live. We're going to have some fun today. We got some film that we're going to review. You see me looking at it already. What's up, Journey Knoll? If you want to have your film reviewed, you could submit it to that little banner that's happening. But before we do that, there's this video that I wanted to show. It's really cool. So we're going to watch this together. The fastest 200-meter time in history compared. It's a little like what is this? Animation, AI animation. So I've been wanting to watch this. I figure why not? There's no better time than now with you all. So let's watch. Fastest man by decade, 1960, 1970s, 1980s. Tommy Smith. I actually went to a Tommy Smith meet in at Simplot Games in Idaho. Met Tommy Smith, got a picture with him, me and one of my best friends. So let's see what Tommy Smith does in this 200. That was a horrible drive phase. Look at this. Horrible block setup. Maybe not horrible, but look at that back foot not even connected to that pedal. And watch these little tiny steps. What kind of a drive phase was that? Oh, he got up, he got going, man. So Tommy Smith won the 1968 Olympics. Damn, his 50-meter split is 5'9".
That is pure elegance, ladies and gentlemen. So smooth. It's all about
He is well known for raising his Black Power fist in protest during the medal ceremony. Very cool. I got to get a picture with Tommy Smith. 15-1, 150 split.
just the lane in the cross.
Whoa. Arms up, through the line. That's a 1983 for Tommy Smith. Here we go, 1970s. Pietro Mania. Sorry if I say that wrong. Pietro. Look like a beast, though. Let's see. Bit better drive face with Pietro. Oh, off him on the turn.
I think you can see a slight difference already. 100 meters split, 10:42.
100 meter split, 10:42. Pietro won the Olympic gold in Moscow, 1980, and ran 1972 in 1979.
Still driving, still pushing, and Smith celebrating. And
15:01 split for Pietro. Now, this is where Tommy Smith goes wrong. Why are you celebrating right now?
Mania stretches away.
Tragic. Hate to see it.
Still driving, still pushing, and Smith celebrating. And Mania stretches
All the way
away.
through the line. That's a W for Pietro.
Wow, this
That's still the European record today in 2020.
was a great race. Wonderful
RIP to the legend there.
athletes.
That was Pietro for the 70s. Let's look at the 80s. Oh, Carl Lewis. Yeah. Joe DeLoach and Carl Lewis. Let's see. Carl Lewis, of course, also 100-meter and long jump Olympic champion. Okay, so we got Tommy Smith out there. We got Pietro, right? Carl Lewis, 50. 5'8", 2'5". Okay, and Lewis. Oh, this for 100 split. Ooh, Carl Lewis, 10:32, 10:33. And Lewis, 10:35. Pietro is 10:42. 150 split. Sub 15. 1494, 1497, 15:0. Okay. Here we go again. Carl Lewis celebrates. Tommy Smith celebrates. What happens? There you go. Mania came and got him. Can't be celebrating before the line. Got to run through. You're not Usain Bolt. Yes, Lewis celebrated during his personal best of 1975, like Tommy Smith. I guess you're only at the Olympics a few times. You might as well celebrate when you know you got it in the bag. But I also wouldn't know what it's like to run sub 20 in the 200. So. $20 Olympic and World Championship medals for Carl Lewis. That's over the 100, 200 long jump. Okay, we're heating up into the 90s now. We got Michael Johnson. 200, 400 meter specialist. Unique running style that allowed me to create more force, which helped create speed. Okay.
And now let's see what the fastest man of the 1990s, Michael Johnson, can produce against this field.
I'd be interested to see if Michael Johnson's 50-meter split beats Carl Lewis. Oh, I missed it. Okay. It did. So if Michael Johnson theoretically was running the 100 during Carl Lewis era, he would have won. 5.79 to 5.825. But he could also just be a very strong curve runner. There are people that are just good at the turn. But obviously Michael Johnson's good around the whole track, so that theory doesn't really hold up to be true. Striking, boy. Look at that distance. 10:14, 10:32, 10:35.
Let's see if he can maintain his lead. That's a huge improvement.
That gap is crazy.
And he keeps going. And he keeps
1462,
going.
1494. All the way through the line. Runs all the way through the line. Gets a 19:32 as a result.
3-2. That's a fantastic time. Wow.
Here we go. 2000s. From 1990 to the 2000s. In this, I don't want to say it wrong. Millennium, decade, century. Obviously not decade. Well, I guess 1990 to 2000 is a decade. Okay. There's the man, Usain Bolt. No, you don't need to introduce him, but do it anyway. Fastest man alive. Or fastest man ever, excuse me. Oh, he's already locked and loaded. Did you see his block starts? Oh, shit. Look at him. Ooh-wee. Look at the difference in that block. Usain, Carl Lewis. Excuse me, Michael Johnson, Carl Lewis. I forget my OG's names. I'm sorry about that. Go on. I think 560. When in a 50 meters, you're ahead by 0.2 almost. That's insane. Yo, what's up, Mitchell Koska? How's it going? I guess the banner could be hidden for now. Striking. 992. I mean, that's got to be a somewhat of easy for someone that can go. Well, I guess maybe he didn't go 958 yet, or maybe he did. But someone that goes 958, 99 is probably 1444 for the 150. Boomba. 1919. Johan Blake, the Beast. Second fastest man ever. Poor reaction time. This starter is, you know, what's this? Look, watch the starter looking around. What you looking for? It's gonna be quieting down the crowd. You're the starter. Watch. Scared of the gun. Look, not paying attention. Crazy work by the starter. Gun goes off, nobody's moved.
That was a true reaction time by Johan Blake. Something went wrong for sure. But anyway, he's catching up. He's working hard to get back. And Usain Bolt still has his
582 for Johan Blake. 1017 for Johan Blake.
He's working hard. He's up to
Oh, tied for Michael Johnson. So he's really coming back at the end. Got that bad start. Moves in front of Michael Johnson.
Will it be enough?
All the way through the line. And we know these two were teammates. They trained together. It helps to have a great
Behind
teammate.
Usain Bolt,
Low reaction
1919.
time, so that may really happen. Special appearance. Can you see him back there? Look at him. There he is. Okay. Can you hear that? All right, Noah Lyles won 13 world championships and Olympic medals. 9 of them are gold.
I love gold.
Ready? They look nervous. Let's review that. Let's run that back. Ready? Okay. Oh, geez. He looks like he's not quite sure where he is or what's going on. Oh, Carl Lewis. Look a little scary there, guy. Oh, Michael Johnson looks worse. Usain Bolt. Okay, Johan Blake. Okay. Noah Lyles kind of looks the most like Noah Lyles. Like and subscribe. I'm waiting. Oh, yeah, let me show you. This was on Motion Athlete. If you want to go check it out. I think they do more videos like this. I haven't looked. Oh, the slow-mo star. Where's Noah Lyles going?
He's already ahead of Blake, slowly getting into his running. I think he's just behind Bolt. He's in second place. Wow, 100 meters time is 10:07. But it's all about Bolt, and he's being chased by an entire. Everybody's trying to catch up. The line's coming.
There you go.
Blake is catching up. That was a fantastic, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go. 1919, 1926, 1931, 1932. We got 1972 back there. The moral of the story is Usain Bolt is unbeatable, I suppose. Undeniable.
19.31.
Delayed starts at the front.
A different precise moment. Tommy Smith leading on the curve. Takes over now. Just behind Joe Below and Paul Lewis. But just look at the speed of these athletes on the right. Oh, that's going to be a close break. There's going to be a close finish. He's going to get it all right.
So what do you think? Sometimes it's fun to watch. Not sometimes. It's always fun to watch anyone like Usain Bolt just run away with the race. And then it's always fun to see a race that finishes like this one is. There you go. Very good. So maybe this channel also has Usain Bolt versus human speed limit. And can we jump further than a dog? Can we jump further than a dog? Oh, was I not showing that at all? There we go. Let's watch that back maybe.
Something went wrong for sure. But anyway, he's catching up. He's working hard to get back. And Usain Bolt still has his huge lead. 10-17 for Johan. He's a bit behind. He's working hard. He's absolutely flying. He's even closing on Bolt. Will it be enough?
Absolutely not.
That's not so far behind. Johan Blake, 19.26. Behind Usain Bolt, 1919.
There he is. 9 golds. This is the channel. If you want to subscribe.
Okay, go. Let's call him live. He's already ahead of Blake, slowly getting into his running. I think he's just behind Bolt. He's in second place. Wow, 100 meters time is 10:07, but it's all about gold, and he's being chased by an entire field. Everybody should catch up. The line's coming. The bloke, Johan Blake is catching up. That was a fantastic race, ladies and gentlemen. Lions 19.31. That was a fantastic race, ladies and gentlemen.
That's crazy. That's the difference in 0.1, right? Basically 1920 to 1930. And this is the difference in 0.5. Excuse me, 0.05.
Lions 19.31. Wow. That one will be interesting. I think motion at
Delayed start.
a different precise moment. Tommy Smith leading on the curve. Gets on the nail. Just behind Joe below 6 more minutes. But just look at the speed of these athletes on the right. Oh, that's going to be a close break. That's going to be a close finish. Who's going to get it on the line?
Mm.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Now let's look at our own Olympians, our own athletes. Okay, we got a lot to cover. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how much we get through. Okay, so let me close this door. Okay, so we have one of my athletes. It's been a while for him. Basketball player. Wanted to go over his block starts. And we just did this whole series with block start checklists. And so what do we do for this athlete? Well, we gave him the block start checklist. I just also would like to, here's what I could do. We're going to compare because we did block starts with him, with this athlete before. And that was about a couple months ago. And then we did them again using the block start checklist. And we're going to compare the differences because they're pretty big. Where are your other block starts? I think maybe these are them. That's okay. We'll just do the one, I guess, for now. And go back and see if we can't find it. But there's a big difference between using the blocks checklist or not. Jaden, what's good? Jaden Prize, what's up, bro? Okay, now put your left knee down. Okay, so right off the bat, look at this. Hips sitting back on his heels is exactly what we are trying to avoid. Okay, now put your left knee down. As soon as he puts his left knee down, hips
Square your hips up.
shift forward.
So come up, yeah, load the pedals again. Both knees down. Come off of your hands, keep your knees down. So sit up on your knees. Face your hips down the track as though if you had eyes that were wanted to look down the track. Yep. Now put your arms down on the line. Keep your hips facing. Yep. Okay, so now
So we're going to compare that position. Okay, this is what it was when he first started. Like very first, you just watched it. It was like 5 seconds ago, and then look at where he is now, after the change.
you like to keep one knee up, right?
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. But you're not allowed to move your hips back as you lift your one knee. So lift the knee, but don't move your hips. Your left knee.
Got confused about which knee to
There you
lift.
Okay? So you see, now you just rock the back a little bit. Yes.
Let's see. Okay, so he likes to keep one knee up. I don't really care. That's fine. I teach all my athletes to do one knee down, but it's whatever, to be honest. I don't care up, knee down, but you just shouldn't let this rock back situation happen. So he wants to see he actually was okay for a while. Like, this is fine that knee is up, but he's doing what every athlete wants to do. Every athlete who's new to blocks wants to do, which is to relieve pressure off of their hands. So they push back as he just did. And then that relieves a little bit of pressure off of the hands compared to when he's forward here. Okay. So, again, like, I think that's okay, actually. Shoulders over hands, fine. But then he pushes back too much so that he is now, once again, sitting on that back foot.
Load back first.
Okay, so he and I had
Yeah.
some discussions, and now we're ready
Load
for the
front.
second one, which is load back,
In both knees.
load front.
You got to put both.
Still only wanted to put his one knee down. And what does that get our friend Brandon here? Look at that. Look at how crunched that position is. Like, let's see, compared to after we've done the work. Okay, different positions. I need to do.
Set.
That
Go.
was good. That was good. That was a short step there. But the blocks themselves are not the problem. That was a good block start for Brandon. Nice forward lean. Puts his hips down the track, forward lean. Only the hips move. Back foot is against that back pedal. Not bad off that front block. A little bit soft ankle. which is one of Brandon's problems. And then he does not get off. This is what I mean by soft ankle. And then it does not get off that foot. He doesn't push all the way off of that foot. And so that step is really small. And now this foot is hitting way in front of us. So it just kind of ruined the whole block start.
Those are your marks.
Got his routine, ballistic jumps, loaded back pedal first, then the front, then both knees go down. Hips look forward. Maintain the contact with the pedals, hands go down. Nice push. Better push off of that foot. Still small though. Can you see that? He like only pushes off of one foot. Yeah, but he gets small the whole way. So even that is not good. So it's dry phase is the problem, right? The blocks are no longer the problem for Brandon. It's now the dry phase.
That back foot has to be all the way against that pedal, and then your hips will come into place. Okay? Set. Go.
So he really doesn't push off of his feet well. Let's compare. Yeah. So he's missing just that little piece, but it's a big, big little piece, which is that that foot pushes all the way off the big toe. But for Brandon, that foot really doesn't push off, right? And that's a big deal. It's almost like it's like when boxers punch and they have a snap of the wrist at the end. That does a lot of damage versus if they just punch like this. And Brandon is just punching the ground like this. He's not snapping his punches. And so that's why his blocks start. Excuse me, that's why his dry phase is horrible. Okay, so this is a drill called overspeed drill. So if you've ever seen, this is a nice little secret too. So if you've ever seen speed belts or anyone that's fortunate enough to run downhill, maybe with spikes on, this is essentially taking place of a speed belt. It's not as good, but it's still excellent, and still works on stride turnover. Right? You have stride length, you have stride turnover. Brandon, who we just saw, needs to work on his stride length. Other athletes need to work on their stride turnover. Brandon needs to work on both. So what we do is we start out here in lane 9. This is a 9-lane track. So this athlete's going to start out here, stay in lane 9 while they build up their speed. And then as they begin to come to full speed, they're going to cut across the lanes into lane 1, at which point they will be focused on turnover. Like they want to pretend as though they're running downhill. Okay, I know the turn is flat, but we want to pretend like this is a hill that we get to run down. And then that is where we focus on turnover and leg speed. So you're going to see this athlete do it. Starts up high, gets her speed going. As she comes to full speed, comes across all the lanes and is really focused on turnover, almost exaggeration of turnover. That's what I'd like to see in this drill. So let's see him. I believe this is her brother. Let's see Satchel do them as well. Okay, so he stays in lane 9, he builds up his speed, and then he begins to cut all the way across the track into lane 1. And his turnover was very much slow, not improved. Like he's not simulating the downhill aspect. And so that stride turnover, that stride frequency was almost the same as it normally was. And in this drill in particular, we want to emphasize stride frequency. So that's what I told Satchel on this next one, is to pay attention to that stride frequency and exaggerate it. Now you see him pick up his turnover a lot quicker. And so that is what I'm looking for in that drill. So Satchel, if you're watching or if you see this, you need to work on that. Okay, so next we have some acceleration drills. Okay, we're going to start with them walking. This is the progression of how we learn how to do early acceleration. So essentially a dry phase. And what is a dry phase? What is early acceleration? Acceleration is just when you push hard off of the ground. So you're going to spin just a little bit, a fraction of a second longer pushing off the ground. Whereas in the drill, the overspeed drill that we just went on over, the overspeed drill that we just watched is about stride frequency, but acceleration is more so about stride length. Obviously, you want it balanced, you want it mixed, but by definition, acceleration is when you provide more force into the ground, right? F equals ma is the scientific equation. If we're going for acceleration, then we need to increase force because our mass is constant. So that's when people refer to acceleration, they basically just mean spin that little bit second longer, pushing off the ground. And when people refer to stride frequency or turnover, it's no longer about pushing. It's now about tap, 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 tap. Keep that turnover going. The more experience you get, the more you do, you learn how to blend the two. Because usually athletes favor one or the other. They're decent stride length, but slow turnover because they've been doing distance their whole life, or they really they think they understand the concept of speed, and they somewhat correctly understand that it's about how quickly and you move off the ground, but then that leads to really short strides. So you want a blend of the two. So this is a drill for acceleration. So I'm just walking and practicing my drive phase. Okay. If you notice how, if this thing will pay attention to itself, I'm long with my arms, right? Watch this heel come through, right? This heel comes down through my ankle and then back up. Okay. You don't want the heel to leave from here and go up this way towards the knee. It has to be down here to cut the ankle off. This is the drive phase. Okay. And then let's see Satchel. So one of the problems for Satchel is his drive phase, and you see his heel. And you'll see it again and again and again for Satchel as we continue to do these acceleration drills. But look at that heel comes up and goes that way. And so when you're trying to stay in your drive phase, a heel that does that is going to pop you up out of your drive phase. And Shane does it a little better, even though she wasn't as certain what the drill was asking her to do, which is fair. It's a interesting drill that I picked up from, I think, the Altus trainer, Stu McMillan, maybe. But Shane's a bit better. Now she's dragging her toe. Whether that's intentional or not, I'm not sure. But the reason she's dragging it is not because she thinks toe drags make her faster, but it's to bring the heel low and then up. Okay. And look at how long, how open this is. This is very good by Shane, even though she doubted herself. But this is good.
Why would I be best?
See, Satchel can't get out of the habit of picking that heel up and cycling it. Not bad by Shane. See, Shane honestly wants to get going. Like, she's in such good positions that she wants to turn that into a run, or into a bound at least, maybe not a run. And so that's very good. Satchel's not quite as connected. Is this glitchy for y'all? I hope not. It might be, though. I have to fix that if it is. If it's glitchy for you and you're seeing this right now and you're hearing this, please let me know. If you made it this far, why don't you like, comment, subscribe? Okay, these are hopping Excel drills. So these are just freeze. I'm just going to freeze. I'm just hopping from one leg to one leg. But if you notice, I have the same mechanics. My heel is low. Come on, buddy. Okay, my heel stays low and then up. Okay, and then on the next one, this heel is going to be low and then up. It's very intentional. I don't try to do this when I'm in my dry phase. I'm not trying to bound. I am running, but the mechanics are quite similar. And so this drill really helps with early acceleration. It helps a lot of my athletes figure out what a dry phase is supposed to look like and supposed to do. And I've noticed how easy it is for my athletes to absorb this information and improve their early acceleration. So that's why I'm sharing it with you. So once again, we're hopping. The heel comes low. My arms are big. Just for the purpose of the drill, I'm staying like this for 10 yards. And you see Satchel can't quite get it. Why? Again, look at the difference. Look at how small his strides are compared to mine. We're fairly similar heights. I don't know how tall he is actually, but it shouldn't look this much different. Boom. That's a nice open. Leg comes through. Knee is powerful through. Satchel, that leg that's off the ground, the leg that's pushing off the ground for Satchel is so quick to react that he can't even get fully extended. And that is a problem, right? That's him not pushing fully. He's trying to operate too quick off the ground, not staying patient. He's also very much like at this high angle. It should be a little bit lower. His angles of trajectory there, it's a little bit high.
Yeah, dry phase. You got to switch. Boom, land, and stop.
Okay, so they struggled with this drill a little bit, although Shane is getting more extension in hers, so that's good. Boom. Boom. I'm really exaggerating the push. I'm letting the foot that's in the back hang because I want to explore the limits of my stride length. Where am I at when it begins to feel unnatural? Where am I at when it feels really short? I want to explore these things. And so you see Satchel doesn't even give himself time enough to push, to explore his stride length limits, to explore his acceleration limits. So he won't have great acceleration to top end speed. He's probably going to get in the blocks as he has before, attempt to do his drive phase, but feel like he's just spinning his wheels because he's not pushing. And acceleration is about pushing. I got one. Got two. Is a little bit better there. Nice. That was good changes by Satchel. So, you know, within the 3 minutes that we've covered over this drill, Satchel has begun to learn the concept of pushing. And I've said it like, I don't know how many more times I can say it. Pushing is great for acceleration. It is required for acceleration.
Yeah.
See, now she's being weird. She's like trying to throw her hips forward rather than gaining the forward propulsion from the extension of the hip. She's trying to snap.
See? Push and let it hang. Push and let it drag. Yep.
Watch her hips sit
You know what I'm
behind
saying?
her. See?
Nice, Shane. See how her back foot just, boom, unintentional toe drag, right?
So the way Shane was just doing it, she was throwing her body up in the air. But nice. Satchel, great improvement here. Great job. Now you're going to see the final product of what it should look like once you've gotten these early acceleration drills. Okay.
My arms also.
So I'm showing them now what it looks like when you piece everything together. It should look like this. You can go back and go slow. And so this is a little bit much more closely related to dry phase mechanics. You want to make sure that you're running, not forcing yourself to try to bound. But this is what you want. You want the low heel recovery, swinging through, and you want full extension. You want to begin to gain distance, especially for those first 3 or 4 steps in the dry phase. And then you can begin to naturally cycle, and then your body will put itself into the position it needs to be in. Learn to trust your body, you know. Although I guess this is quite unnatural for most people. These are nice bounds. Not to toot my own horn, but these are nice bounds. For an old guy, I guess. Yeet. Okay. Let's see what Shane does. She had it. I think she's overthinking it a bit, but then the bounds look great.
Look at that.
Well, yeah, they look good. I feel like maybe she was dragging a little bit into the grass. Let's see what Satchel's going to do.
Dry phase.
Yeah. See, he hasn't figured out his angles of projection are like they're almost like going this. Let's see. So when he pops out, look at his angle. It's even higher than what I had initially, right? That's him. And that's me. And those angles are different. How do you do this? Okay. So I'm at a, what is that? 36-degree angle. And Satchel is higher than that, probably at a 50-degree angle. Not bad.
Oh.
I think she fell into the grass on that one. Yeah. So that's just going to take some work for Satchel to get going. Now we have 150s. I call them progression 150s because we started at 50%. 70%, and then we bumped it up after 50 meters. There's a cone down here. We bumped it up to 80%, and then there's a cone. So that cone right there. So this cone, so we started out at 70%. once we pass this cone, we bump it up to 80%. There's a cone down here that you can't see that's 50 meters ahead. And once we get to that cone, we bump it up to 90%. The goal here is to be as efficient at 90% as you are at 70%, because often what happens is when I ask people to do 70%, they are almost, they look much better. They're much more fluid. They're more relaxed. And then when you ask them to go above 85%, 90, 95%, everything begins to get tense and tight, and they're really struggling and fighting. But the third piece of that speed equation of stride length, of stride frequency, the third piece is efficiency. How well do you return energy through your body? How well do you displace your energy onto the ground? How relaxed can your muscles be? Because sprinting is a sport of expansion and contraction of the right muscles at the right times. And if they're not able to expand, you're going to be slower. And if they don't contract, you're going to be slower. So we have to find that balance. And these are one of the helpful ways to find that balance, are running these progression 150s. You've seen people that do in and outs as well with cones, where you speed up, maintain in between cones, but you try to relax. So let's see how well they do these. They look relaxed. They look good. This was a problem for both of them. And on this day at this practice, they both looked much better, much more smooth in their running. Yeah, even on this start, Satchel's like angles are like straight up rather than a drive phase. So that's the 80% cone. So now they bumped it up to 80%. And once they pass that cone down there, now they're going to 90. Bump it up. But stay relaxed, stay open, stay smooth, stay rhythmic. This is good. You got to go slow before you go fast. This is exactly that. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Good. Up tall, turnover, turnover, turnover.
I can't tell you how many athletes are nice, buff, big, and tight, and slow. So fighting for every step. You don't want to be fighting to gain distance, to gain speed. All right, that was awesome. We got through more than I thought we would. Is there anything else that I wanted to do? Got their buildups here.
The tree over there.
Straight leg bounds. And buildups from Shane. Okay. All right, I think that's it for today. What do we got here? Oh, sneak peek into the band workout. Okay. That's a posterior chain band work exercise, not ready to be shown to the public yet. That was awesome. So let me show you a little bit of school. I've been working on my speaking voice as well, although I have not been conscious of it during this live stream. Okay, so this is school. This is where you're going to come. You're going to join the group once you get inside. We got Mohammed here. What's up, Mohammed? You're going to join the group. I'll let you in. ask me questions, and then you'll come here to the tab, to the community post, right? We have our classroom here, some fun classes. We're adding more. Got our members. What up, members? What up, members? Map leaderboard. Okay. About page. You'll come to the about page. You'll see like, oh, okay, this guy seems cool, trustworthy. Let me go ahead and join the Speed Lab. It will let you into here. And from here, you're going to click write something. And maybe you write, please review my film. And then you add your film if you had any film. Or you can add a link or add a video. And then you leave a nice message. Hi, Coach Chase. Thanks. And then you click post. Make sure before you do that, you come here, you click film review so that I know what it's for. Otherwise, it could be passed up. Okay. So that's what you do with that if you're interested. So that's the Speed School, Speed Lab. And I'm Chase. And what's good? We got 2 people watching. How's it going? Nobody? Nobody, I guess. All right. Fine by me. I got stuff to do, like improve Speed Lab School. So I'll see y'all later. Adios.